Is that what it is? Are we friends?
Depends on the day.
Friends don't shake hands. Friends gotta hug. Come on. Well, why not? Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Do you expect Jason Peters to play Sunday?
Jason Peters. Right now, we're gonna continue to evaluate and see where he's at. It's a little bit more extensive with him, so we got to get through today and tomorrow to find out.
How about DeSean, Bradham, and Darby? Those are the day-to-day guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you this on DeSean. DeSean, one of the things that I appreciate about DeSean is how hard he has been working to get back. He wants to get back out on that football field in every way possible. And so with that, his hard work, his dedication, and with this injury, it's tricky. He wants to be 100%. We want him to be 100%. So I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to rush him. I want him to feel and be the DeSean that we know he's capable of being before we put him back out there. Darby, Jalen, those guys worked this week. They've been doing extremely well in practice. We'll get through today, another day. Really want to test both of those guys and see where they're at. But both have been doing really well.
How about Nigel? He hasn't practiced this week.
Yeah, Nigel's probably more of a long shot, I think, to play. With his injury. So we'll see where he's at today, but it's probably not looking good.
Is it even possible for DeSean to be 100% this season?
Nobody's ever 100%. And again, with the type of injury that he has, and being a track guy, being a speed guy, it affects you. It makes you different. So is he going to be 100% when he comes back? Probably not. But is he going to feel better? Yeah, he'll feel better, and he'll be able to put it behind him and just focus on football.
What's realistic with him now? I mean, it's kind of an ongoing thing. What's a realistic thing for DeSean about when he can get back on the field?
Me. We don't put timetables on guys with these types of injuries, these core muscle deals, and again, I don't know anything about the injury. I've never had one. I'm not that fast. I don't know how to run that fast, so I don't know what he's feeling. But I know this: that the guys that have had them, they've come back and they've come back well, and so. Again, not to push him, and I don't want him to feel any added pressure. When he's ready, he's ready. I just don't want to put a label on it and, put him in a box.
Doug, there was an ESPN report citing anonymous quotes that the offense is throwing the ball down the field to Carson Wentz is throwing the ball down to interceptions.
Or throwing the ball
he's throwing the ball downfield. The checkdowns should be there. Are you aware of those comments, and what do you
I've seen
say
them.
about them?
I've seen them, and I'll tell you this. For those of you that know football and watch football, a check down is a part of the game. But what people sometimes don't understand is you may lose your back in protection. He may get caught up in the wash of the protection. He may not get out, and so. It is an aspect of something we teach, that when the throw is not there down the field, and if you have the availability of a back or a tight end in that position, we will utilize it. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, and it's not on the quarterback.
Aside from the content of the message there, does it bother you that things are coming out from anonymous quotes?
Yeah, you don't like to have anonymous guys. But at the same time, I hate to say it, but we're kind of focused on the Cowboys right now.
There was also an intimation that the offense can be too complicated at times. Do you think that's fair at all?
What do you mean by complicated?
I don't know what they meant, but the assertion was that.
I'm not a smart guy, and I can figure out the offense. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. Listen, it's a tough sport. It is a tough sport, and I've got to have the right play, hopefully at the right time against the right defense, and I'm asking 11 guys to execute that play, and we trust those guys to make the right decisions. And, if there's complexity in that, yeah, there's complexity in that because you're going against 11 guys who are really, really good and trying to execute that one play. That's why, we wear the C on our hat for coach. We got to continue to teach and get our guys prepared every week.
Did you address the anonymous quotes with your team, or did you go to any other players that you thought that may have been behind the quotes?
I have not, no.
Is that the first time anyone has complained that there should be more checkdowns?
I think so. I think so. I've never heard that one before. We're not throwing it deep enough, and now we're not throwing it short enough. I don't know. I don't get it.
On Wednesday, you spoke about the linebackers. Are you expecting T.J. Edwards to really kind of take a step up here in terms of playing time?
I am. I'm expecting all of them, all of them to really take a step forward. This is a great opportunity for all those guys in that room, to increase their performance and to increase their play time. And, these guys are also core special teams players, so it's a great opportunity. But TJ is one of those guys that we brought here for a reason, and now he gets an opportunity.
In the middle of the offseason, when things were slower, how much time would you have spent thinking about this particular game, this particular matchup?
You think about your division games, in the offseason. You actually dedicate some time in the offseason program, to study your division guys. And, you don't really know the roster, makeup until you get to this moment. But, yeah, you look at it, you study it, and you try to come up even in the offseason with a plan that you can even execute during your OTAs.
Defensively, where do you start as a coach against the Cowboys? Those linebackers or the edge rushers?
As far as
planning and
yeah,
what you're
obviously
concerned
it starts with their front. This is a really good aggressive defensive line. Their edge rushers are really good. Lawrence is playing well. Quinn is playing as good as I've ever seen him play. So yeah, you got to kind of start with that and then progress. It's a good group. It's a really good group. They're fast. They're flying around. Opportunistic group. So yeah, our work's cut out for us, Sunday night.
A guy like Andre Dillard's probably staring at his first NFL start in a tough environment. Is there, do you kind of talk to him before the game or during the week about expectations or just trying to put his mind at ease or whatever?
Yeah, we have a lot of conversations with our players, and we've talked with Andre. The thing is, too, I've learned that I go back to, how we handled Big V, in his first start down in Washington a few years ago. Same way. You don't want to clutter his mind. You want him to be as free as he can and let him use his ability to play. We as coaches can help him, obviously, with, play call, play design, if we're going to send it back his way, a tight end his way, whatever, until he kind of settles into the game. Andre's going to be fine. He's looking forward to the opportunity if he gets a chance to start. And, he had a really good test last week with a great, edge rusher in Griffith over there in Minnesota. So he'll be able to carry that over this week.
It seemed like in 2017, Jason had a big role in Big V's development and his success later in the year. Did that kind of set a template for what you guys can do and how the process works this time with Andre?
With Jason?
Yeah, with Jason kind of.
Yeah, and you see it. I saw it last week in practice when JP, missed some time in practice last week. He's coaching up Andre. He's coaching up Andre this week, and just what a great resource to have, right there by your side. Someone that an All-Pro, is going to be a Hall of Fame left tackle, who can really give you some insight, probably more so than us as coaches. We just look at the tape and go, hey, do this, do that, and try to teach off of that, where Jason's the guy that's been out there playing and he understands, what it takes, and that's a great resource for Andre.
At the point that Mills and Darby are back, it might be Sunday, like you said. Are you looking at those two as your starting cornerbacks going forward here?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think those two would just kind of assume, their roles moving forward. Yeah.
Would you do any rotating at all, or would those two be the main guys?
I think you still would rotate. It just depends on probably how both those guys feel, with their coming off their injury and just kind of working themselves back into game shape, I guess. But I would anticipate that both of them would get a lot more time, moving forward.
Doug, how confident are you that there's no fracture, no divide in the locker room, that you guys are united?
I love that about our team. These guys really, things get thrown at them all the time, and it's kind of funny because we play a game, we play a sport, and we're all judged and critiqued on this sport that we play and coach, and it seems like everything is about the negative, with players or with coaches, and there's there's not enough positive. And so for me, to be able to be positive with the guys, to maintain, because to me, that's what they need to hear. You know, we're gonna, even as coaches, we're always coaching the negative, right? Always coaching the mistake, and we don't give them enough praise when it's good. And so for, you know, a team to hang together and do things together away from this building, just shows the character of the football team and where these guys are.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.